Pranam Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste, namaste.
We are now in the 10th session of Mundakopanishad with Swamiji. In our last session, Swamiji did Shloka 5 in chapter 1, section 1. We are now in Shloka 6. A very warm welcome to everyone here. As usual, the last half hour will be kept aside for questions with Swamiji. We will begin our class this morning with Yogacharya Venudas ji chanting 2 Shanti mantras. First Shanti mantra is from Samaveda, which begins with Apyayantu Mamagani. This will be followed by the Shanti mantra of Atharva Veda, which begins with Bhadram Karnebhihi. Venudas ji.
Namaste, Swamiji. Apyayantu mamangani vākprāṇaschakshuh śrotramadho balamindriyāni ca sarvāni sarvam brahmaupanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam ma brahma nirakaroda nirakaranamastva nirakaranam mestu tadatmani nirateya upanishassu dharmaha te mayi santu Om Shanti 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 Bhadram karnebhiः shrunuyama devāः Bhadram pashyemakshabhirvyajatraः sthirairangai tushtuvam sastanobih viśema devahitam yadayuh swasti na indro vruddhashravah swasti nah Usha Vishwavedah Swasti Nastarshyu Arishtanemi Swasti No Brahaspadir Dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Bhadram Karnebhiः Shrunuyama Devāः Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraः Sthirairangaistुष्टुवां sastanobhir Vyashema devahitam yadayuh Swasti na indro vruddhashravāः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Oh. In these Mundakopanishad studies, we had discussed the sixth mantra of first Mundaka. There are 3 Mundakas, each divided into 2 Khandas. Khanda means part. So in total, there are 6 parts in this Upanishad. So we are discussing the first. And in our last Satsanga, we have seen the 6th mantra. In the 5th mantra, it was said, Yaya tathā'kṣarātsaṃbhavatīha sa para vidya. That alone is para vidya, the highest knowledge, that by which the akshara, imperishable, is realized. So the realization of the imperishable alone is the para vidya. Then comes the question, what is that? What is that imperishable? What is that eternal? What it is? Then in the 6th mantra, it is said, Yathā adreśyam, agrahyam, agotram, avarnam, achakshushrotram, tad apanipad. That which is not an object of senses of knowledge or organs of action, achakshushrotram, tad apanipad, devoid of senses of knowledge or sense of cognition and organs of action. Eternal, that is having no limitation of time, and vibhu, having no limitation of space, because it is all pervading. So what attributes we are seeing or knowing in objects of the world, all such attributes are negated. And it is most subtle, susukshma. And that imperishable, that eternal truth is bhutayoni. It is the cause of all bhutas. Bhuta means that which is manifested. So this is the cause of all manifestations. And this is the most unmanifest. Because manifestation happens through time and space. This is not limited by time and space. That's why it's called the Nityaha Vibhuhu. Eternal and all pervading. That which do not have the limitations of time and space. And what we are knowing as manifested will have these two, time and space. But the reality is manifested through time and space. That is about the manifested world. And here it is said Bhuta Yoni, the cause of all manifestations, the very base of all manifestations, or the originating point of all manifestations. That is the unmanifest, Avyakta, Adreshi. Then comes a question, how it is the Bhuta Yoni? How it is the cause of all manifestations, all Bhutas? The following mantras gives answer. Let us take one by one. The first is yathorṇanābhiḥ sṛjate gṛhṇate ca yathā pṛthivyāmoṣadhayaḥ saṃbhavanti yathā sataḥ puruṣātkeśalomāni tathā'kṣarātsaṃbhavatīha viśvam yathorṇanābhiḥ sṛjate gṛhṇate ca yathā pṛthivyāmoṣadhayaḥ saṃbhavanti yathā sataḥ puruṣātkeśalomāni tathā'kṣarātsaṃbhavatīha viśvam. Let us break the words first. Yathā ūrṇanābhiḥ sṛjate gṛhṇate ca yathā pṛthivyāmoṣadhayaḥ saṃbhavanti yathā sataḥ puruṣātkeśalomāni tathā'kṣarātsaṃbhavatīha viśvam. Whenever we are coming across mantras describing the nature of Brahman or the absolute reality, always we must keep in mind what is being described is the undescribable. So there will be or there must be limitations, many limitations in those sayings. Even if it is Veda mantra, mantra from the highest knowledge, even then, invariably that limitation will be there. Because here we are describing that which cannot be described. then it is quite natural that our words will have many limitations. And out of their love, care, and compassion, rishis, those realized teachers, they try to explain which cannot be explained. They try to describe the undescribable. So to lift our thoughts or our mind to a higher plane, they use many examples. They used in our Shastras many examples, many parables, many stories, many things. And mainly their teachings were through examples. So through such examples, they wish to convey certain messages. Take that message and leave the example. And one more thing, let us remember, we must take, or we must only take that part, that aspect, which they are trying to convey through such examples. We must not take the example as a whole. Now we can come to this mantra, yathā, how, gṛhṇanābhiḥ. Gṛhṇanābhiḥ is spider. Gṛhṇanābhiḥ is spider. It is called gṛhṇanābhiḥ because there is urna in its nabhi. Nabhi is the middle part of the body. Nabhi is the middle part of the body. And as there is urna, urnony bandhane, the meaning of the dhatu, urnony, is to bind. So there is a sort of glue or paste in the middle part of spider, and therefore it is called gṛhṇanābhiḥ. With the help of that glue, it is making the net, spider net. So, yathā gṛhṇanābhiḥ, how a spider is sṛjate, creating, sṛjate, creating, gṛhṇate ca, withdrawing, how a spider is creating and withdrawing, or we can translate gṛhṇate as taking back, creating out and taking back. Yathā, how, pṛthivyāmoṣadhayaḥ, pṛthivyā means in the earth. In the earth, oṣadhayaḥ, plants, saṃbhavanti, are manifesting. Are manifesting. It is the plural because plants, oṣadhayaḥ, is the plural. Yathā, how, sataḥ. Sataḥ means from existing. Sataḥ, from existing. Sat is existing. and sataḥ from existing. Puruṣāt. Purushaha is a man. Purushaha is a man here. There are many meanings for Purusha. And according to the context, we have to take different meanings. At some places, Purusha would mean Brahman itself, the ultimate reality. At some other places, Purusha would mean all-pervading principle. At some other places, Purusha would mean Ishvara. And normally, Purusha would mean a man. Here, that meaning is to be taken. So, Puruṣāt means from a man. So, we can join these two, sataḥ puruṣāt, from a living man. From a living man. Keśalomāni. Kesham, Keshani, Lomani cha. Keshas are hair on the head, and Loma, hair on the other body parts. So from a living man, how hair is manifesting, is coming out. Tathā, in the same way, tathā, in the same way, tathā'kṣarātsaṃbhavatīha, from the imperishable, saṃbhavati, manifesting. Saṃbhavati means manifesting. Or saṃbhavati means becoming. Here we can take manifesting. Iha means here. Here, viśvam. The verbal meaning of viśvam is everything. Here we can take it as to mean the whole universe. So the whole universe, the manifested world, are manifesting from the imperishable. That is why it is called bhuta yoni. For all manifestations, there must be a primary cause. And that must not be something which is created. If it is a created thing, then there must be something as a cause for that also. So here we are taking the primary cause, which is not the created. It's imperishable. All the manifestations are perishable. Whatever manifests in this universe, as they have a birth, they must have a death. Whatever be the thing of the world, death is with that. Nothing is there as imperishable. Here the ultimate reality or the cause of all, the very, very base or the very substratum of all these manifestations, it cannot be something which has birth or death. So it is called imperishable. It is the existence absolute. It is the existence absolute. Here it is called aksharam. Akshara means imperishable. So from this imperishable, the whole world or all the manifestations are coming out. How? Three examples are given here. The first example is how a spider is sṛjate, creating, gṛhṇate and withdrawing. While making the net, small threads of glue will come out of the body of the spider without the help of anything else. It is coming out from its own body. There is no involvement of anybody else or anything else. That is, without depending on anything else. That is the meaning here. That is the message we have to take. Without depending on anything else, or without any other cause, without any other being, the spider is sṛjate, creating. Here creating is manifesting, because what is coming out is already there or was already there. What is not there, it won't come out. So coming out, that process is only a manifestation. That is only a process of manifestation. Nothing is being created anew. What is already there, it is being manifested. And that manifestation is happening without the help or without the involvement of anybody else. That is the case of spider. And while creating, it will withdraw back. You just go and observe how a spider is making its net. It can swallow it back. The same thread which is coming out will be taken back by the spider. But once that glue is dry, then it won't take back. That is another aspect. That aspect we need not take here. Before dry, when it is wet, then it can take back. So, from the spider, without the involvement of anybody else, this net is coming out, thread is coming out, and it is being taken back. Spider is doing both these activities. And that too without involvement of anybody else. And one more aspect is there. What is there already, that is coming out. And what has been come out, it is going back. Nothing else. These are the things we have to remember here. That is with the example of spider. Yathorṇanābhiḥ sṛjate gṛhṇate yathā pṛthivyāmoṣadhayaḥ saṃbhavanti. How plants are manifesting in this earth. The plants are coming out. Many types of grass, trees, creepers, many types of plants. as it is Oshadhaya, we can include the whole of plant kingdom. The whole of plant kingdom we can include in this Oshadhaya. If it was Vrikshaha, then we can include only trees. But here it is Oshadhaya. The whole plant kingdom. The whole plant kingdom. How they are coming? As they are. Somebody may say, no, they are coming out of seeds. Because seeds are there inside the earth, so they are sprouting out. Then the question comes, what is a seed? From where you imported a seed? It's a part of this earth. Seed is not something outside the earth. Seed is a part of this earth. You are not taking or bringing a seed from some extraterrestrial world. No. So it is a part of it. Yeah. Earth is not soil alone. So as a part of the earth, in the earth there are seeds and they are manifesting out. And when we are calling them trees or creepers or grass or this or that, they are parts of the earth. And when they are dry, dead, still they are parts of the earth. So they are not something which are different from the earth. The earth is manifesting as trees, plants, creepers, in many forms. And they were already there. But we are seeing them when they are manifesting. And without the help or involvement of anybody or anything, they are manifesting. The earth is depending on nobody. As it is, naturally, spontaneously, they are coming. And when they are manifested, we will say, there is a plant on that particular part. There is a tree on that particular part. But actually what it is a part of this earth. It was there, it is there, and it will be there. If we are cutting it and crushing it to pieces and powder, even then it is a part of this earth. So how these plants are manifesting from the earth? They were there. They were not having a different entity or existence. And even though now they are part and parcel of the earth, they do not have a separate entity. If we think they have separate entity, remove a plant from the earth. What will happen? It won't live. So it's a part of the earth. But when it is manifested, we are seeing it, we are identifying them as specific things. We are attributing individuality. See, in the same way, Akṣarāda, from the imperishable, viśvam saṃbhavanti. This world is manifesting. Then yathā sataḥ puruṣātkeśalomāni. How hair is coming out from a living man. From a living man. When he is dead, then this growth of hair will stop. But you just observe. If you want to observe, you can observe. For some more minutes or some 1 or 2 hours, hair growth will happen. Because all the, even though he is dead, still he is not, his body is not fully dead. That's another aspect. Those who want to observe, you can observe. However, we can come to the topic. From a living man, hair is manifesting, is coming out. Keshalomāni. Kesha is hair in the head, and loma, other body parts. See, a purusha is not somebody without this hair. Or hair is not something other than this purusha. It is from him they are coming out. Without the involvement of anybody else. He is not taking something else to manifest his hair. No. It is happening as it is. Without any other cause. When we are making something. If we are cooking, we will make use of the primary cause and secondary causes. All together create the final product. Here in these examples, it is not there. Because without the involvement of anybody or anything else, spider is creating and withdrawing. Plants are being manifested in the earth. And hair is coming out from a living man. It's a part of that. With that we are calling a man. In the same way, the world is not something away or other than this absolute existence. If we are saying this world is, that isness is that existence. And from this basic cause or primary cause, without the involvement of anything or anybody else, all these phenomena are coming out. So just go to these 3 examples and think deeply. So in the same way, from this imperishable Brahman, Akshara Brahma, all these manifestations are coming. This is the message conveyed here. See, let us look into that mantra once more. yathorṇanābhiḥ sṛjate gṛhṇate ca yathā pṛthivyāmoṣadhayaḥ saṃbhavanti yathā sataḥ puruṣātkeśalomāni tathā'kṣarātsaṃbhavatīha viśvam. So this is the seventh mantra. In the fifth mantra, it was said by which the imperishable is realized, that is Paravidya. And in the sixth mantra, what is that imperishable? Brahman. It was answered. And while answering, Rishi said, it is the basic cause of all the manifestations, Bhudayoni. And how it is Bhudayoni? It is not something other than this manifestation, or these manifestations are not something away from the primary cause. And all these manifestations are coming without the involvement of anything or anybody, as it is. So this we have to remember. Now the eighth mantra, we can go through that in our next satsanga. So if you want to ask anything, please, you can ask.
Namaste, Swamiji. First question is from Dr. Kamalaji.
Swamiji. Namaste. Can you hear? Only?
Yes, now we can.
Yeah. So the question, Swamiji, it is not a question, just a understanding whether it is correct, because whatever is manifested will be there. Without being there, nothing will manifest. That's what Swamiji said. So in the Brahman, this creation also have a primary and secondary cause. So the primary can be, we can take it as Brahman Sat Chit, Sat principle, that existence principle. And can we take the secondary as the Maya principle? Here. Can we understand that way and take it? And that Maya, since we learned that Maya is the cause for the creation, and how do we understand?
It's clear. Now, here, for the purpose of understanding this mantra, now we need not take Maya. Because here the message conveyed is whatever exists are existence absolute. And the same existence absolute is manifested as many without the involvement of anything or anybody. Now, next level. The next level, we will look from the angle of the world, from the standpoint of the world. Now we are looking at this phenomenal world from the standpoint of Brahman, or the absolute truth or reality. Then there is no Maya, nothing. There is no Ishvara. There is no the concept of Ishvara is there. Because whatever are there are simply the the same existence absolute. When I am saying I am and you are saying I am, or I am saying you are, both these are one same existence absolute. And when we are trying to understand the phenomenal plane or the world from the standpoint of the world, then we have to take into account Maya. And what is Maya? Maya is the innate power which is undifferentiated from Brahman. So one and the same. Just like the heat of the fire, the whiteness of the milk, we cannot differentiate. We cannot differentiate. And it is innate. That Maya, which one Brahman, have three qualities. Lohita Shukla Krishna. So says the Upanishad. With red, white and black. Lohita Shukla Krishna. That means with Rajas, with Sattva and with Tamas. These are the three qualities. And that Maya, or that aspect of Maya, which is having pure Sattva alone, in that state of manifestation, it is called Vidya or Maya. And when that Sattva is tainted with the Rajas and Tamas, it is called Malina Sattva, with impurities. That is called Avidya. And there is the third aspect of Maya, which is Tamas dominant. Which is Tamas dominant. That is called Tamasi Prakriti. So these are the three aspects of Maya, or we can roughly say, even though that is not apt, three divisions of Maya. Maya, Avidya, and Tamasi Prakriti. All these are Maya. Only three aspects. So just like a mirror reflecting the sun, the Maya, that is the three aspects of this Maya, will reflect or make the reflections of the Paramatma, Brahman. So what is being reflected in the pure Maya is Ishvara. And in the Avidya Maya, Jiva. And when it is reflected in the Tamasi Prakriti, all the manifestations as the world phenomena are coming. So take this basic concept. So Ishvara cannot be the material cause. Material cause is tamasi prakriti. Out of that, all the worlds made of elements are made. So we can say, when we look from the standpoint of the world, these creations or these manifestations are because of Maya. From Maya, this world is come. But really speaking, Maya is not somebody or something different from Brahman. It is the innate power. It cannot be differentiated. And therefore, Brahman itself is the cause of this universe. So from two standpoints we are looking. When we are looking from the highest standpoint, there is no world different or other than Brahman. When we are looking from the standpoint of the world, these manifestations are from that Brahman. Both are same. When we are looking from this side, the other from this side. And so, what is the conclusion of Veda, or what is the conclusion of Vedanta? The very basic cause of all these manifestations is Brahman alone. Janmadhyasya yathā, yato va imani bhutani jayante, and the like. So here, when we are saying I am existing and you are existing, all these are one existence absolute. When we are analyzing the world, then we have to take primary cause, secondary cause, and all these are Maya. Maya is one without a second, and it is innate with Brahman, or innate part of Brahman. The use of part is not apt. But whenever we speak about the unspeakable, there are limitations. Namaste.
Next is Dr. Hemaji.
Swamiji.
Namaste.
This shloka explained that from the how the first one, yathorṇanābhiḥ, that the thread comes out from the spider, hair comes out, aushadha, they come out, and it is not, doesn't involve any other thing, but the coming out process itself needs a push or energy or prana for it to sprout or come out. That is what's only. So it needs another, some other effort is necessary. But what you explained just now, it could be the same answer, that Maya, the innate power of Brahman, and this tamasi prakriti which is inside, that gets energized or happens because of the Maya power support.
Yes, that's correct. But before going into the explanation, at the very outset, we have seen, when we are taking examples we must not take the example as a whole. We must only take that part of that example which is intended to be conveyed. For example, here the first example is ūrṇanābhiḥ sṛjate gṛhṇate ca. Spider is bringing out and taking in that thread made of glue, and that is its own glue. Take that example. So one who is connected with the mechanics, that much energy is being used in this process of manifesting. So that is being exerted by that spider, and that energy is different from spider. Many thoughts may come. One who is studying about living organisms, he may come with some other questions. This glue is not integral part of spider. It is something different from spider. It is a product made by the spider, or it is a secretion from the spider. So there is something else other than spider. Then the chemist would come. He will analyze the ingredients in that glue, how that chemical bond is happening. So many questions will come. So many. When these sṛjate are coming out from a purusha, even if they are not coming as a purusha, and they are not living things, they are some secretions. And some others may come and analyze what are the ingredients of that. This much amount of carbon, this much amount of hydrogen, this much amount of oxygen. So many things. So, for the purpose of this example, we have to keep in mind the message intended to be conveyed is without the involvement of anybody or anything. As it is, these manifestations are coming. This is the first thing. Now, if you want to analyze, then we can say, yes, there is a power, and because of that power, all these phenomena are happening. Like this, the process of creating and taking back, or sprouting of plants, or the manifesting of hairs. There is some power within, and because of that power, these phenomena are happening. And then you take it as the Maya, it as the Shakti. And that Shakti is very innate. It is not different. And we cannot differentiate that. If we are differentiating that power, that Shakti from earth, then earth is not earth. If we are taking away that power from the spider, then there is no spider. It's only a dead body. And we are taking away that power from the living man, then he is no more living man. So it is very innate. We cannot differentiate. So that power, that Shakti, which cannot be differentiated, is Maya, and it is one with Brahma. That is the thing to be noted here. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji. There are no more questions.
Very good.
Can I ask one more question, Swamiji? Very simple.
I have posted a question. Sorry.
Can I ask one more question, Swamiji?
1 minute. Venudas ji is telling something. Do you have a question?
Yes, I have already noticed.
Then Venudas ji can ask.
Yeah, I missed that. Sorry. So Venudas ji next.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
Swamiji, there are, if you may permit me, I have 2 questions today. Number 1 is that there are human beings, there are people, those who have got constant fear of death. How come man has got this constant fear of death, and how we can help them? Number 2, in which textbook we can see the description of Chin Mudra, Swamiji?
Basically, we are existence absolute. That is the basic nature of all beings as we are existing. So I am this existence, and that existence is existence absolute, and therefore it is imperishable. So I will not die. I will not die. But in this phenomenal plane, in the mundane plane, I have the superimposition. I am identifying myself with this body, the pranas, the senses, the mind, the intellect, and all these adjuncts. I'm identified. And when this identification is there, I am that. When I am identifying with this body, simply speaking, I am existence absolute. There is no meaning in it. Because I am identifying with this body. The limitations of this body I have. And what is that limitation? Number 1, it has a birth. Number 2, it must have a death. So birth and death, 2 ends. And in between, many other changes. So that is, as much I am conscious. What consciousness? Body consciousness. I have the knowledge or the thought within that this will end. I am identifying much with this body. And this will end. From this comes the fear of death, or first the concept of death. Then as I am loving this world, I am loving this body, I am living in this world of many bondages and relations. Death means leaving all this. So death is passing pain. And from that fear of pain, fear of death, it is there. That is the first and highest fear we have in this world, fear of death. And all other fears are parts and parcels of that. This is the main fear. So what is remedy? Normally, in human beings, this fear will come now and then. When we see somebody die, or somebody facing death, then this fear will come. Or when we are working with some plans to be executed, then this fear may come. But now and then, not always. And that is why we are living here without fear. But in some individuals, at some certain occasions, this fear will come. It won't let them free. It won't go. That will haunt them. For example, in many women at the time of childbirth, this fear comes and it won't go. For example, and in persons who had met with some mishaps, or who is witnessing some mishap, or some battles, or some bomb explosions, or some hurricane or wind or such things. This will come and take hold of the whole personality. Then what is how we can help them? Through proper counseling. Don't go and teach them. Na jayave mriyadeva. No. Accept their level. We all are living here in this world with our own mental problems. Different mental strata we are living. So accept that. Such and such problems are there. Don't go and teach them the Atma is unborn, deathless, immortal principle. No, it won't be digested. Knowledge that is not digested will make many problems. Better not to learn, better not to study Veda than living with knowledge which is not digested and assimilated. There is nothing wrong in not studying Vedanta. Who will ask? Should you study Vedanta? Why you are not studying Vedanta? Such a question is not at all. You can live happily in this world without Vedanta. But if you are studying, it must be digested and assimilated. Otherwise, it will create havocs. So don't teach them Vedanta, but accept as they are, in which level they are living, what is their concept of life. Accept it. And slowly try to give them courage to face. Try to make their mind more stronger. If they have faith in some religious systems, ask them to read their text. Ask them to chant mantras as per their religious beliefs. Whether he is a Hindu or Christian or Muslim, whoever he be. Ask them to practice their religious practices. And tell them there is an order in this world. And we are within that web. So there's a controller above all these things. Have faith in him or her. Then make them understand that we are feeling for them. We are caring. Then they will come with us. Otherwise, they won't come with us. We can touch their heart only when they are coming with us. So first make them coming with us. That we can do with the love. Love alone can touch heart. There is no other tool to touch others' heart. It is love. So we can try. And if we are not succeeding in this, then also there are ways. Don't give up hope, because there are more experts than us. Who can touch their heart psychologically. We can take them to them. But when we speak about psychology, one problem I have seen many a time, those qualified psychologists, not all, many experts are there. I am not criticizing them. Great scholars, great psychologists are there who are really helping, really touching the heart of people. I'm not criticizing them. But there are many, especially the qualified psychologists. They will approach with certain equations. 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4, 4 + 4 = 8. So with that attitude, which they have learned from their universities, without any customization, they will approach, and one with a particular ailment will always be a sick man. That is the problem. So what we need is a practical customization. This we must have. For that, we must first accept that individual as he or she is. Then only we can make customization for him or her. So this is a practical problem. If we can do this, there is no doubt we can help him. He will have success in helping him. There is no doubt in that. So try. And of course, chanting some namas according to one's own belief, whichever be that religion, it is immaterial. Because in all religions, there are names attributed to Ishvara. There are certain actions to be performed. Follow that. That will give immense help. There is no doubt. Namaste.
Swamiji, there was another question too.
Yeah, can I ask one question?
No. There was one more in the Varnadas
Yes.
question. What was
Yes.
that? I forgot.
In which textbook we can see description of Chin Mudra, Swamiji?
Actually, I don't know that. There are many references in the writings of like acharyas like Sureshwara Acharya. For example, Manasollasa Vartika of Dakshinamurti Stotra. There are references of Chinmudram, Anandamurti, like that. And in the Gita Dhyana, we can see Jnana Mudraya Krishna. So such references are there. But how to explain Chinmudra? That we have to get from our acharyas. So this knowledge regarding the inner meaning of Chinmudra is something that comes from the tradition of our acharyas. See, if we are explaining Vedanta, it won't have an end. We cannot conclude, I have finished explaining Vedanta. No, nobody can. Then somebody comes and asks, can you teach the essence of Vedanta? Yes, I can. Just uttering a Mahavakya is sufficient. It can be Prajnanam Brahma, or Aham Brahmasmi, or Tattvamasi, or I am Atma. If somebody comes and asks, can you give a symbolic representation of that? Yes, that is Chinmudra. That is Chinmudra. Here this Angushtha is representing Paramatma, and this Tarjani, this is representing Jivatma or Atma, and these three Trigunas of Maya or Prakriti. So normally our hands are like this. In some persons it will be like this. However, the Jiva is always attached with the Prakriti. That is Triguna. As long as Jiva is attached with the Prakriti, Brahman or Paramatma is away, distinct, entirely different. There is no connection at all. So Ishvara is somebody to be worshipped. I am the worshipper. And to worship, I have to make use of either sattva or rajas or tamas. If this is sattva, this is rajas or tamas. If this is rajas, then these are sattva or tamas, like that. We cannot say which is this, because what is dominant in one person is represented. In some person, this is sattva, that is the madhyama. In one man who is tamas dominant, this madhyama is tamas. So we cannot say this, which of these three fingers are sattva, rajas and tamas. What is dominant? It should be represented. Now, jiva is always with this triguna, and Ishvara is distinct, away, different, to be worshipped. Now, the jiva, through its swadhyaya, through its sadhanas, sravana, manana, nididhyasa, karma yoga, or with devotion, bhakti, whatever be that, he is coming down, or he is coming slowly, slowly getting away from the clutches of prakriti. It is not easy. It is not easy. And touching the end of this angushta. Now, these two has become one, like a ring. There is no beginning, there is no end. It has become one. It has become one. And then only these three has gone. This is the real yoga. That is becoming one. This is the message of Jnana Mudra. So Atma Brahmaikya. Atma is none other than Brahman. There are no two principles. Atma is Brahman. So it is one. There is no beginning, there is no end, there is no difference. Now fully free from sattva, rajas and tamas. So this is the meaning of jnana. We have to get this from our lineage of acharyas, our tradition. When Swami Vivekananda ji was Montori, and in the last phase of such wanderings, that was in 1892, the month of November, December, that period, end of November, Swamiji reached Cochin, and he was a guest of the Divan there. In those days, great Swamiji, Chattambi Swami was also there in Cochin. Then somebody invited Chattambi Swami, saying a sannyasi, young sannyasi from northern Bharat has come. You can meet him. And Chattambi Swami came. And they were together for one day, whole night. They were together discussing many things. And during the discussion, Swamiji Vivekananda ji asked a doubt to Chattambi. Swamiji, please tell me what is the meaning of jnana. What is jnana? Then it was Chattambi Swami who taught Vivekananda ji the inner meaning of jnana. So this is the knowledge that came from tradition. This was the mudra which was held by Bhagavan while teaching Bhagavad Gita. This was the mudra which was held by the first Guru, Dakshinamurti, while teaching all the rishis and their masters. Karya kalida chinmudramananda murtim swatma ramam mudida vadanam Dakshinamurti mede. So that is the greatest mudra we have. Namaste. Namaste. Bhadram karnebhi shrunuyama deva Bhadram pasye makshabhiryajatra Thirairangai tushtuvam sastanobhir Vyashema deva hitam yadayuhu Swastina indro gṛhṇashravaः Swastina pusha vishwavedaः Swastina starkshyo arishtaneme Swastina brihaspatirdadhatu Om Shanti 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 Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.